Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for having us. Uh, Welcome to Trinity Adventure Rumble, a weird campaign where a fight might break up anytime. You get to punch a white shirt doing nefarious deeds, and also um, zombies might appear, and also other weird creatures. But we will get to that in just a moment. But first, let me introduce my cast, and then let me introduce myself. Starting with, and everything switched on me, starting with Zach, if you can, introduce yourself and tell us all about you and who you are playing.
Hello, I am Zach Renaud, he, him. I am going to be playing Bobby Joey of the Society Path Lodestar. I can be found at Zach Rules on the Deadbird app, as well as various other social media places. And if I'm not there, or if you go to there and you see Zach Ruiz, it's because he got there first. Don't throw him any shade. Try Zach Roll Dice. And if that doesn't work, I'm not using that platform.
Okay. And also, letting them introduce themselves. Michael, tell us who you are playing.
Um, my name's Michael, he, they, playing Gray for this wonderful campaign. I'm a composer, musician, voice actor, and writer. You can find me streaming as Asterisk VTuber, as well as the Thursday game on Onyx Path of Trinity Continuum Anima, currently at least.
And lastly, we may have a fourth player, we may not. Someone might appear at a random interval. We've had a weird interval when it comes to the weather, unlike our players and our characters here. But that's neither here nor there because we have to resolve something that recently happened. Um, Collectively, your organization was able to collect on the weird zombies that are appeared, the weird having the mayor's son also quarantined and kind of exited out of the whole situation as fast as possible. And last but certainly not least, your no face villain decided to just kind of dip without without further notice. So it's just you guys currently waiting around in the lobby of the museum trying to figure out what your next move is. Um, Even your main handler hasn't necessarily shown up to like give any help in this sort of situation.
The assassin, I'm blanking on her name again. Is she okay?
Yes, she is. She is currently dusting herself off. Um, Julia, as she's been calling herself currently, you don't really know what her real name is. She goes by anything and everything. Um, Kind of having some of the same dealings that you might have, Gray. Although Julia is always Julia, it's hard to miss her. Always with the same MO. Uh, she does, however, come up to the two of you, um, holding her side just a bit. Ah, it seems you two are alive.
You as well. Hope I'm. That didn't look like a very, very clean fall.
Um, you hear something snap, and she kind of stands back up straighter. It's never really is. She looks around. Well, this is kind of a fucking mess, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, quite a bit. Oh, well, when was anybody going to supposed to tell us that the mayor's son was going to be one of us?
Your guess is as good as mine. Um, I knew there was some weird something going on, but she just looks around. This is a new one. You see the mayor kind of tiptoe around the two of you. Hi. Oh.
I'm just gonna grab the mayor, just pull him in real close.
Okay. Oh, yes. Hi.
Hey, so Mayor, would you like to explain?
Um, um, it's funny. Funny you should say. Behind him steps out Harrison Hargrove. You know him. You love him. Actually, you kind of fucking hate him, but you know him as soon as he comes out, zoot suit ready, camera ready. He's already come back from talking to the reporters out front. Now, don't get mad at him. It was kind of my suggestion. Um,
To
oh,
keep us in the dark?
well, basically, no one actually knew about Robbie. And that's when you realize the mayor's son has not been called by his real name. Um, he just kind of, the mayor kind of takes a step back. Right, my son Robbie, we've kind of been hiding him for the past 5 years, give or take.
Right. And why the sudden reveal?
Funny you should ask. It wasn't really my ideal. It was more of a, and he points to where the key was at one point. Apparently, we can't keep the two separated without some residual problems.
Okay. I appreciate you trying to tiptoe around the situation, but let's, from now on, especially between Bobby and I, and Julia, since we're here to help you. So let's just get the information the first time around so we don't have to keep asking over and over.
Technically, Robbie is my adopted son from a different situation with a mentor of mine. He was part of the excavation in the Arctic Circle, and some stuff happened. And, well, he shows the aftermath of everything that took off. Now we're here.
So residual problems happen if you separate the two of them, and the same thing will happen if they get too close.
Something like that. Normally it's stabilized. Normally it doesn't produce The Walking Dead, but given the great circumstances, Robbie's emotional state, and also there being convenient bodies around, we get zombies.
Out of character,
Hmm.
was there any casualties? Because I know, Kitty's body or Kitty's unconscious body was like in the middle of all of the dead mechanics and
Th-
whatnot,
Yes,
and they're
there's
the
dead
ones that turned into.
mechanics.
there's a bunch of dead mechanics, but also there was like two or three that also got um, were also bitten and also attacked by the reanimated corpses. You don't know if they also reanimated as well, given the state of everything. But there was a few casualties, mostly created by Kitty.
Some of our masked friends were knocked unconscious,
Right.
and therefore became easy targets for bites. I don't know how that happened. Weird.
Yeah. Weird.
By the way, if any
Yeah.
of if any of them start getting up, Bobby's gonna punch them again.
Um, you do see one get up. He just groans, but he's just, oh, fuck my head. And he just looks up, kind of just backs away. Oh, wait. We had a truce. You're not gonna punch me in the face again.
Did we have a truce?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was the
I
one
thought it
that
was
you
the
didn't.
other guy.
It was definitely the other one that you didn't punch in the face.
He just got. But I.
Talk, and maybe we can work this out so you don't get punched again.
I am just a hired goon, okay? I am just a contractor. I
What
was
what what
told,
were you what were you contracted to do? How about that?
oh, be a bodyguard. Just be muscle, not create zombies and you know, no faces and whatever it is you did. I don't associate it with folks like you unless paid. Although if you pay me, I can help your situation out even further. Huh? Huh?
I don't
How
know.
can
I
you
don't
help our
like the.
situation out further if we pay you? How does that work? Talk to me here. What
Listen,
can you do to for us?
I can get you access to places. I can go and fix your cars, shine your shoes. I'm great at tap dancing. Um, I'm good at hosting rumbles. Huh? Huh? Everyone likes a good host for rumbles. I can hold the sign, do a little rumble. I can even do that. Huh?
I
Um,
I don't know, Bobby. I don't like the tone he used when he said people like us.
that's a good point. Yeah,
I mean, take no offense, but guy who can literally put you through a wall, and also, I don't know about you, you pointing towards you, Gray. I don't know what you do, but you seem deadly. You look like you can kill someone, and I just don't want to get involved in that. And then he turns to Julia. I've seen you murder people, whole families. I don't want nothing involved in that.
Speaking of which, and I kind of turn to Julia and then also Hargrove. Just what was this about?
Um, Hargrove kind of looks over to Julia. Julia just contractor as well. She's kind of my mole. Well, she's my mole, but also their mole, but also five other organizations' mole. Take your pick.
Well, I know how she operates, but you're the one that came up with this plan and wanted to. Is the mayor actually really paying us that much for you to go with this far-fetched plan? Because you're going to have to pay Julia quite a bit.
He gives the weirdest grin, a type of smile that is just way too punchable. And just goes, listen, don't worry about Julia's payment. Don't worry about what the mayor's paying us. He's paying us good, all right? We got a good working relationship. But listen,
no. So I I was working with shady people who didn't always tell the full details and had more information,
mm-hmm,
and things went sour. And that's why I got into this line of work because I couldn't trust the people who I'm working for.
mm-hmm.
Now, you've had a whole bunch of information that you didn't tell us last night.
I think I told he just snapped his fingers. Didn't I tell the third one of you the normally the brands of the operation?
You may have, uh, we haven't seen them.
All
They
They
right,
didn't
didn't
show
see
up here.
they're not here.
You,
They're on different
yeah, you
assignments.
noticed that? Yeah, so you gave them a whole bunch of information and told us we were escorting a key that was already here
Well,
that wasn't
technically,
moving.
you were escorting the key.
There was a lot more information for sure, yes. And I know they're on a different assignment, but you could have relayed the information to us as well. It would have been easier. And I don't know how you wanted to run the organization, but this isn't the first time. And I'm sure Lodestar doesn't operate this way, but definitely Branch 9 doesn't operate this way.
Look, you didn't tell us about Rachel, Julia, Janice, Jennifer, whatever name she is at this given moment.
Actually, I don't know what What name do you prefer to go by? It doesn't matter as long as you pay me in cash. You don't have to worry about a name. Fair enough.
You didn't tell us about the kid. You told us the kid was some sort of like arms dealer.
Well, arms dealer got involved in a situation with arms dealer, possible weapons for the U.S. government. I mean, potato, potato.
That's not the
We were
same
supposed to
thing.
show him a good time. I was going to take him to the kitty cat club. Do you know
Okay,
what could
Bobby,
have
that's
happened
not a
if
good
that
I,
time.
happened?
that, that, I don't. Wait, why did you think, like, showing him a good time would involve the kit, the kitten club after you blew up the kitten club?
It was still standing. People were still serving drinks.
See, this is partially the reason why I don't tell you all the details because then you come up with ideas to taking, you know, going to the kitten club with potentially something
If you
being
had,
stolen.
if you, well, if you told us it was a protection detail and not a, and that we weren't supposed to do that, I wouldn't have taken him there. You didn't tell me the details.
Besides, whoever fault is certainly not mine. He's fine. The key is fine. And you guys have done a great, perfect job. Job well done. You deserve your rest.
There's a zombie over there. There wasn't a zombie before all this started.
Um, and where you point out in the background there is like a zombie, and you see like one of the an older lady with a cane just kind of beat the zombie in the head with a cane and just keep slamming. You're doing great, Gertrude. Job well done.
Okay,
Beautiful
jokes
form,
aside.
Gertrude. Keep up
Beautiful
the
form.
work.
Just amazing.
Right, jokes aside, and whatever we've just done, we've a weapon. Two pieces of one, really. That makes zombies.
Oh, we don't really like using the Z word. More, reanimated corpses or reanimated people. Things that sound better when you're selling it to the U.S. military. You know?
Okay, yes, definitely, but you really don't think we're selling this to the US military, are you?
Oh, well, not necessarily selling. We're not selling the kid to the U.S. military. More so, just having him as an assistant to the military.
Hargrove,
Why does it sound like that means you're not going to pay him?
you're. Regardless of payment, Bobby, you're going to start something that we were not going to be able to finish. Li- Zombies, living dead, reanimated corpses, whatever you want to call them. If any of them. If any of them could create more, and there's a war going on right now, there's a lot of dead bodies. I would say more dead bodies than there are living ones in some places.
So you see exactly what it is. You see the vision. Great. This is why you're also my number one. You see the vision. I'm glad we're all on the same page. Anyways, job well done. You guys
No.
go get a well deserved rest. I am going to go and help Gertrude deal with that last zombie, and then I'm just gonna head out. Not zombie, reanimated person. All right? You two have a great one. Gertrude, I'm coming. And he grabs a baseball bat, and you just watch as this man um, winds up and just hits a home run with this poor individual through a roof. Hmm. Gertrude, get the car. We have to go. And they both head out.
Did anybody pick up the key?
someone in your organization did walk out with it. You think the guys that you called might have been the first one to help out with that. Um, and also, you think someone from the Aeon Society was there to assist. Um,
Okay. Did they take the fake key that we planted or the real key that I hid?
that is correct. Let me check. When you go back and look, you realize they did not get the real key. The real key is still there with the two of you.
I'm just gonna have with my gloves on that um and wrap up the key in a tablecloth. Great, it's time to go.
This is more trouble than it's worth. You know that, right?
It you understand what Hargrove wants to do with it. You see it as a nightmare scenario. He sees it as a way to make money.
Right, let's
So
go.
I don't have knowledge of these things, but I trust your instinct more than I trust his instinct. So
Um, Julia just looks at the two of you. Well, my job is done. The kid's not here. You have the key. I am going to go, and hopefully, we don't have to cross paths again. Or at least, if we do cross paths, it's as associates and not, well, as rival participants. And she just skips on out.
see you,
We'll
Rachel.
just. Right. Have a Mai Tai on me or something. Okay.
All
I
right. So
guess
you
we
said
go.
you had a place we were going to store this before things went haywire when the original plan was still to take it. So where are we bringing it?
The phone booth. My
Okay.
network.
All right.
Um, when you guys get outside, you realize the reporters and everyone who was there are kind of gone. Everyone has spread out, even though zombies just bit into someone and caused kind of a scene. But for some reason, there's not a scene happening outside, not even a rumble. It's just the two of you walking out, heading towards the phone booth.
Alright, usually I don't show a lot of people this, but since we're going to deal with whatever we've dealt with now, and we're kind of in this together, step in.
Yep, and Bobby's going to look around to see if anybody's watching.
Um, I'm not gonna make you roll for this. You do see one kid, the kid from across the street who was digging up from the trash that rumble sign. You see him running with something, but you don't know where he's heading off to.
What is Ricky doing over here? Anyways, all right. Let's do
Um,
this.
as soon as Bobby gets into the phone booth with the key, I will go ahead and have a small little keychain on my own that kind of clicks into the back of the booth, and it'll slide into a tube,
Okay.
essentially sending you all the way down underground, past the subway, and past the sewers and whatnot. And it's the sanctum sanctorum that I call the network. And essentially, you see just a row of different types of pipes and tubes that come that are from all these other different phone booths, and you reach kind of a layer that seemed kind of like a bat cave, essentially, all underground. And I join you a little bit later afterwards. You notice that there's on one side a really large closet with a ton of clothes, both male, female, and everything in between, and a large mirror, but also just another kind of command center esque area with uh, just your normal infrastructure, I would say, of the time at least, and just all right. Welcome to the network. Um, I call it the network because it's just the phone booths and whatnot. Not necessarily there's a lot of people manning here. But I trust you enough, so
Wow, your organization's got loot.
yeah. Well, this is actually before I even joined Branch 9, to be perfectly honest. I was just legitimized when I joined Branch 9.
Are you a
But
thief?
Let's not go into semantics. Right, you could just leave the key there. Anywhere, actually. It's pretty safe. I've not had a break-in a while. Nobody knows how to deal with the mechanics of the booths yet, so.
All right.
Bobby,
Remember, this thing gets the shocky tanks, and he just puts it down on the ground.
as you put it down on the ground, you still feel that energy that is coming off of it, even though you put a cloth around it and put gloves on. It still feels like your fingers have been put through like ice water and they've gone numb. Um, you put them down, and the feeling comes back in your fingers, but it just it feels like for the first time that you got weaker in your hands, and that sensation is now coming. Um, that sensation that was there, that weakness, is now slowly fading.
Do not recommend touching that thing. And he's
No,
just
I
kind of
didn't want
looking
to
at his
touch it.
hands and making a fist and just kind of staring at him.
I didn't want to touch it in the first place. But something does concern me, what the mayor said about the key not supposed to be too far away from the kid. The reason
Okay.
why they were both at the museum at the same time. He mentioned something could happen. I don't think he ever explained what was going to happen, but should we check on the kid now that the key's technically safe?
Do we know where the kid went?
Um, Most likely, since they quarantined him, he's probably back at the Hope Alliance office, which you guys been there plenty of times, especially getting the debriefings, meeting up with your other cohorts, things like that.
I would caution. We've essentially went against the Hope Alliance as well. The good guys mean to
I
sell.
mean, so wait, wasn't it Hargrove who told us that we were supposed to replace the key, put a fake key, that they were going to not use a real key, that we had the people like
Yeah,
maintenance crew.
I.
That was all information from him, right? So he told us
Oh
to make the
no,
fake key, and then he knew we made a fake key. So I mean, that's on him if he picked up the wrong key.
it is, technically. And technically, we are in the right.
Our our job was to guard the key. We're still guarding the key this way. See, we're good. We ain't done nothing wrong.
Semantics.
How do you do things at Lodestar? Do we work on semantics alone? Or do they bend the rules whenever they can?
We get we get clear directions. We go in, we get a target, and we get out. That's what I did.
Right. That's what Branch 9 does as well, but this particular alliance seems to have crossed several lines that our agencies wouldn't have, or would skirt, at least. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody higher up, like Hargrove and anybody like that, decides to disavow us for something like this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, and then I just disappear like I do. And then I show up somewhere halfway around the world, kick in a door, punch a bad guy, get the thing, and get out.
Right. That's usually what happens, yes.
Look, if I went back to Lodestar and told them what was going on here, they would probably have Hargrove on a list of a door knock.
That would be easier then. How about that? How about you go and try to communicate with Lodestar and see what you can deal with in terms of whatever that they're trying to do at Hope. Meanwhile, go back to I go back to the agency and try to find the kid.
All right, you get one of these tubes that'll get me up by the
X-17 over
ballpark.
there.
All right, Bobby will hop in and take the tube to the use the phone booth.
You certainly are able to do that. And as you leave, the further you get away from the key, the more you feel your energy and everything else return. And it doesn't feel as if something is either siphoning off of you or causing you to become numb. It's just you're able to like shake that feeling off and you kind of get a pep back in your step. Um, but there is something, again, you notice. Um, Looking at the empty street that shouldn't be empty at this time of day. It should be busy. Again, you notice two more kids running, holding onto something, and going the opposite direction of where you were headed.
Can I see what they were holding?
Give me, let me see. Um, you tell me what you would use in this moment to like get a beat on what they were holding.
Um, well, let's say integrity to not be distracted by to be able to focus on these kids instead of the empty ass streets.
Hmm.
Oh wait, they're running and potentially stealing something, right?
Possibly you don't know what where they're running or what they have in their hand or what's going on.
All right. Well, as someone who has ran away with valuable goods in their arms on more than one occasion, maybe larceny and cunning.
Okay, arson content, difficulty of three, no complications.
All right, I need this explosion to work. It did. Three successes.
Yeah, with three successes, you able to see what it is that they have in their hand. Um, Weirdly enough, it looks like a round cylinder with three prongs on the top of it. It doesn't necessarily look like a weapon, but it does look like strange technology, something that you were just dealing with not just 5 minutes ago that you left back with Gray. Um, but it doesn't look exactly like the key, but it looks in that same ballpark.
I'm gonna whistle to try to get the kid's attention.
You whistle. Um, you see little Gracie and one that you also call Little Bobby. Name Robert, but Little Bobby. He kind of looks like you, just a little bit more squat. Uh, Kind of always looks like he's been beat up. He has a bandage across the nose and the side of the face. Um, uh, they both stop in their track. Yeah, boss,
What you got there?
it's a thing.
Can I see the thing?
Hmm. He just little Bobby holds the thing up for you to look at.
I'm gonna walk over to get a close look at it.
It looks almost like the key, but it's not exactly designed key like. It looks like it should plug into a machine. When you hold it, it has some of that same energy that was coming off of the kid and also the key. Um, it looks at the end like a weird light bulb contraption, and it glows as you hold on to it.
What are y'all doing with the thing? What are you gonna do with it?
Oh, okay. So it's not just us. Everyone has a thing. And he kind of looks around. Don't tell the other adults, but we found a UFO.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Okay, come on. And they head off, and they're just kind of jumping on. Come on, come on, come on.
Bobby's keeping up.
And you're able to keep up. You look, and you see now there's like a bunch of kids kind of just taking apart what looks to be like maybe a spaceship or maybe some other technology. You're unsure, but you look. Okay, so all the adults freaking out about like zombies and like it is just weird. It's and you see little Bobby just grab something, another thing that looks like a stun baton, and just waves around. It's cool. Watch this. Um, he smacks something in the air. He flies on backwards and kind of tumbles over and holds himself up. And other kids are like, "Oh!" and they're celebrating around him.
Yeah, Bobby's cheering on little Bobby. I am
Spaceship.
encouraged this child. I am encouraging these children's antics.
Okay, so it crash landed, but like the adults, they can't see it.
That's important.
I know. It's so it. He just looks. Ricky, Ricky, show the thing you got. Ricky just comes up. Watch this. Um, it looks almost like a broomstick. He jumps up in the air, um, lifts up one arm, and you just see him floating. And he just floats around with the broomstick. Look at this. Look, I'm flying.
That
Grayson
is
like, I want to
sweet.
fly. He just goes, oh, come on. Grayson grabs his hand and they both hold on to the broomstick. And you just watch them. They're not flying too fast. They're just flying around in like a small circle. It's so cool.
If I push it, does it change directions?
Just slightly. It just spins the other way around.
All right. Yeah, just kind of push it and keep changing up their pattern that they're going into.
Oh yeah, they're loving this. Like it's an amusement park to them. You see the kids have gotten into certain things, but it doesn't look, strangely enough, they're not getting themselves hurt, and it's not like they're in any danger. Although this strange tech could be dangerous potentially, but you don't see them getting any harm from this.
All right.
Is there anything to do or anything you want to check out?
I'm gonna kind of check out the different things they found and see if any of them could. Um, they all seem weird tech things, but none of them appear to be weapons exactly, right?
No, none of them seem to be weapons. Nothing, like I said before, even the thing that uh, Ricky, or actually Bobby, had in his hand when he was swinging it, and he just sent himself backwards. It doesn't look like any of this stuff is weapons to harm each other. Um, most of this junk looks like it could be anything, but nothing dangerous, nothing you've worked with before, or could even tell, to be honest.
Yeah. Um, so he's probably gonna spend some time just making sure these things are safe-ish.
Oh. you're doing that, we're going to switch over to Gray. Gray, what are you currently doing in your base?
Real quick question: do I feel weaker since I'm now the only person next to the
You
key?
do. And just for the audience sake, uh, if you could tell them, uh, what kind, give them a rough patch of who you are as a person, as far as your abilities is concerned.
So right now, okay, so Gray is completely nondescript in the sense that uh they even don't probably know what is their original face and what they look like, because every morning they will, as a routine, change into someone else. The only way that they communicate is to other people or associates, is that they would tell them about certain markings that they have on their clothes or whatnot, and thus that's the reason why there's a large closet of both, of all sorts of different types of clothes and whatnot, because anything from height to size to gender, hair length, whatnot, everything is changed all the time. Um, and they are essentially a spy that always remains anonymous. You just know that a person named Gray exists, but you do not know who they are.
Interesting enough, um, you don't feel the effects Bobby did, like when he was holding it, but there is a strange thing of you didn't notice it at first. You do feel that energy, but at the same time, every time you walk, it's like you're leaving behind an after image. But it's never the same image. It doesn't always look like your current physical form. It always looks like one of the ones you've taken on, and even some you've never even seen before, even thought of putting on. It's just always another after image, but it doesn't last too long, maybe a second or two. Um, they seem to stay longer around the key itself, but the further you get, the shorter the length of time that these images last. Um, seem to get shorter.
This is a problem. I will, kind of muttering to myself, then I'll take like a trolley and try to move it to one of the storage rooms a little bit further into the base, away from where the tubes are.
Um, hey, you do so. You keep walking with this trolley. Again, more after images. Um, you come into a spot where it looks like you're at a funhouse mirror and there's like 15 of you swirled around holding this card and you're going forward. You all split off and now there's 30 of you walking to different directions. It's almost casting like this funhouse mirror effect of you walking through a maze of mirrors. But because you have a great sense of direction of this is your place, you know how this stuff works, you're able to navigate this place with no problem and able to push this off to your destination.
Uh, just out of curiosity, since Gray also knows how to walk through walls, is it do the other images actually follow the different corridors, or do they just straight up go through the walls as they reach walls?
They go through walls. It's weird because it's like you're passing through something and you're passing through each other. It's never, they're not just navigating. It's again an echo of what you're doing.
So is it kind of like a kaleidoscope of an echo effect type of
Right.
thing that goes in and out and kind right. I need to get this out as soon as possible, and I will put it in where I store the actual gear, like the weaponry and whatnot that I usually have, and just kind of leave it on the side of that room. Because the weaponry is where I actually have locks to everything. And as soon as I walk away from the key, does it kind of slow down, like the imagery kind of
It
slow down?
does. Do you try to put the locks on?
Yeah.
Um, as you do that, they unlock themselves.
Will the door close?
The door will close. It takes a moment because it acts like it just doesn't want to close, but you do manage to close it. But the locks are definitely not locking, as if it's just like, huh, they're just not gonna lock. Okay, great.
Luckily, the place is big enough for me to kind of move even further away. But as soon as that happens, I think I will. Is the scene over from last session?
Yes,
Okay. So would you say that we get our inspiration back, or at least 1 point of it back?
yes, you do get your 1 point of inspiration back.
Okay. And then I will once again, because right now I've been like writing down these different effects. Right now, Gray is a woman with long wavy brunette hair, 5'5", with kind of like sable, almost yellowish brown eyes, and then is rather slender. But as I walk through the corridors trying to get towards the pipes, I'm going to use my face of clay again. And with face of clay, I believe it is a. Let me really quickly double check. It is a larceny roll. And with the larceny roll, depending on how many successes I have, I get to change however many features of myself. Uh, yes, that's what it is. If it's cosmetic or dimensions, it would be 1 success cost per change.
Hmm.
Sex is as well 1 success per change. But if I'm impersonating someone, it's 4 successes per change. But I do not look. I don't think I'm going to be impersonating anybody, and it is a larceny action, and I'm going to do that with manipulation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Reroll these two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So with 5 changes, I'm going to change the Gray's sex. So Gray's going to look more masculine now, and then is going to be taller, around 6 foot. Uh, the hair color is going to change to blonde, so it's still long and wavy, but it's blonde. And then his skin's going to be. Uh, let's just say that he looks a little bit more kind of like more burly,
Okay,
and then also his eyes are gonna be blue.
all right.
So that's what we're going to do.
You do this, and it's weird. It's like you've done this before. You've even done this in the mirror, but watching your after images do the same thing, it's kind of a weird scene to have because they don't necessarily morph into you, they morph into other yous, potential yous, which is the weird effect that is having. Um, but there is one noticeable thing about a few of them. The actual face themselves are completely gone, smooth, like a certain individual that you guys encountered.
Hmm. Well, that's disturbing. um, okay, with that, then I will take the tube that gets me to the closest to the Hope HQ.
And you're able to do so with no problems. Even as you get up there, you realize there's a large crowd of people. Um, if anyone remembers South Park Rabble Rabble Rabble, you hear mostly that. People are arguing about something on the front steps of the Hope Alliance HQ, which is normally just a law office. But for some reason, the law offices of Hawthorne and Heights is currently it's currently a lot more active than you remember.
Can I take a little bit of time to listen to what they're talking about, like what people are arguing over, or
Yeah, certainly. You just hear one of them just goes, "Okay, but seriously, all right. I just watched a man eat another man like lunch today, and you're telling me that it was just all for a movie? A movie. You guys were filming a movie at the museum, and you just hear another young woman. Also, if we're really going to talk about that, can we also talk about like the number of cats that are in the city? Okay, there's like 1,500 cats now. I counted. I made sure to count every single cat, including the ones that all look the same. I know. I have eidetic memory. And you just hear another young woman like, Mary, you can't even count your own children. And you just watch them get into a fist fight. And then you just hear an older woman, okay, but also, can we talk about the taxes that are being raised? Miss Gracie, we're focusing on the cats and the zombie problem. We can't deal with the taxes. But like the taxes on grapes have gone up a cent. And you've also hear two more people, a larger man in a what looks to be like a trench coat, a burly hat. You can't really see the face, but it kind of looks like that scene where there's like two kids on top of each other. Also, if we're giving out complaints, can we talk about like ending school early? We move on from them. They're just arguing about mainly different things, but the main focus you can hear throughout all of this confusion is about the zombies and cats for some reason,
and then the three kids in the trench coat.
and the three kids in the trench coat.
Okay. All right. I'll just kind of very silently pass through all of them and just continue on and kind of show a badge uh, that, unlike any of the other badges, would not have a picture. It just has my name, and and even then, it's just gray. And it's just right. I need to come back here. We were escorting a VIP.
Oh, right, certainly. You see one of the guards. Weirdly enough, someone from your agency kind of looks at you, gives you a nod, kind of ushers you in without actually saying more, and just kind of nods their head towards the doorway to enter. How come that person gets to enter in, but like me, I'm literally going through a divorce right now, and I can't even get into the law office? Mr. Lawrence, we will allow you in after we finish our investigation. And that's when you hear the end of that conversation as the doors close behind you. Um, Mostly, it's not necessarily chaotic, but there's a lot of motioning happening and a lot of activity of people going back and forth, people with briefcases going to and from. You see different teams from different organizations also walking through here. You even see Molly Mountainland of the Aeon Society. She was originally the one who gave you the information about the death ray called Project Dustcraft from earlier, from the earlier mission that you had to deal with. And weirdly enough, she also has some sort of ability to clock you to make sure, oh, that's definitely Gray. And she just runs up to you. Ah, Gray, it's so great to see you.
Molly, how's the Dustcraft going?
It's going well. Good job on that. We really appreciate you and your team's diligence in getting that. You look at Molly, and it looks like she has not had a great night's rest. She looks like she's been bogged down with paperwork. Her hair is kind of tousled around, and there's two pins stuck in her hair as if she probably forgot about one, grabbed the other one, used that, put it in her hair, and forgot about that one. Her glasses look a little lopsided, and you can see that there's like a little bit of makeup in her teeth as she's rushing around. It's been a lot. I see you heard about the thing that happened outside.
I was there.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Mm,
How's the kid they brought in, Robbie?
um, a kid?
I mean, not necessarily a kid, but a little older. But they did say they were bringing him back to headquarters.
Molly just looked confused. Was there someone? If there was, they didn't come through the registry, so I don't know who you're talking about.
Right. Okay. Do you know if Hargrove or anybody in the inner circle are back?
I think Hargrove is in his office with some of the other big wigs. So looks around, looks around. Let me see who's here. Let me see. And Molly just kind of points out someone, um, a man, and who looks like he's in his 30s. Uh, Kind of weird. Looks like he's in uh, military regalia. He's looking around. Oh, Sergeant Anderson. Anderson. I'm sorry. I haven't slept in. Don't worry about it. Sergeant Anderson. Hi. Molly Madeline. Ah, Molly. Hi. Hi. I was wondering if you were able to talk to Hargrove. Uh, Hargrove. That blow hard. Yes. No. I was just in his office just 15 minutes ago, and he looks at you, Gray.
Sergeant?
Hello. Hi. Is there something I can help you with?
Um, no, I was looking for Hargrove and couldn't help but overhear that you had a meeting with him. I'm one of his agents that managed to help him with securing an asset or two. I think he was mentioning something about working with the military.
Oh, right. That confusing ordeal. Um, Excuse me for asking, but which organization are you with?
Branch 9.
Brent. Should have guessed. Right. I think one of your leaders is upstairs with him now. They're having a conversation back and forth. Some sort of disagreement.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the information.
Uh, my pleasure.
Uh, Before you go, did Hargrove mention anything about the kid?
The kid. Oh, Guthrie. Just that he was still locating the individual that we were supposed to meet.
I see. Well, thank you so much then.
All right, thank you. Have a great one, Molly. Oh wait, Molly, there was something a research thing that came through. I was supposed to help you go assist you with grabbing it. Oh, thank you. Great seeing you again, Gray. And she kind of scuttles off.
Great seeing you again. Molly, by the way, makeup.
Like,
You have a little lipstick on it.
uh,
Y-
and she hurries up and just kind of like rubs it off.
Yep, yep, you got it. That's it.
Okay,
All
and
right.
she just runs off. She tries to she tries her hardest to run in her heels. You just watch as her heel breaks. She falls over, tumbles. Um, it is a long silence between yourself, the sergeant, and her. She gets back up, dusts herself off, just takes the shoes off, lets out this the saddest sigh that you could ever hear from someone. You can hear like she's stifling not to cry, but like it's there, and she goes, "Sergeant," and just keeps walking to her destination.
I'm just gonna make a little mental note to send her a gift basket later.
Okay.
Just like and I will go and see the Branch 9 higher up and Hargrove then.
That's not difficult. You go inside, and before you even hit the door, you can hear them arguing. Listen, David. Your name's David, right? You hear Hargrove kind of questioning the man's identity. Yes, David. That is how you would refer to me, Hargrove. I'm just asking. You agents have a way of being you guys. Listen, what I'm telling you, it would change everything in the war. Okay, all right. And besides, we've helped you all, and so many of your conspiracies, your agency, your covert operations, your conceal, contain, and all of that. So I believe help us help you in this situation, especially since technically this is your mess that we cleaned up. What you will not do is you will not blackmail an organization like this. This was designed together. Yes, yes, a task force to stop the Nazi invasion and to handle the domestic issues in our country. And we appreciate your whatever it is that you guys do. You hear like a long, deep sigh from David. He's about to storm out until he sees you. He kind of looks. Ah, Agent Gray. Nice seeing you again.
I give him a nod, kind of like almost like a hint of of just to make sure that right before he says it to let him know that it's me, and just David and Hargrove.
Her kind of squints. Ah, great, 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 great. Right. Um. Anyways, it was great seeing you again, David. If you excuse me, I have a few things I have to go take care of. He kind of ushers the two of you out of his office, closes up the door.
Uh,
Yeah.
right. You heard what he's wanting to do with the artifact.
I know, I know.
It's more dangerous than we originally thought. Do we want to continue this conversation a little bit in a more secluded area?
Right. Actually, I have the thing for that. You watch as he pulls out a marble. It's funny enough. One of the kids in our lab made this. You watch as he kind of throws the marble up in the air, catches it, and from your point of view, there is a blue orb of energy that warps around the two of you, and he kind of just keeps walking. It mutes our conversation. Just looks like we're just having idle chatter. So, tell me.
This is useful.
Yes.
Um, right. The artifact, the key, and the kid, Robbie, they called him. The zombies, although I didn't see any of the reanimated kill others and reanimate the others as well, but it's safe to assume that the energies, the telluric energy, does have remnants and passes on to body.
That we can both agree on. In fact, I've been given a little bit of the rundown from the cliff notes from the Eon Society.
Right. It also does something to those that are telluric sensitive. Bobby felt weaker. He looked noticeably weaker when he was next to the key. And it affects my abilities as well. Creates after images of all of my identities.
He kind of looks around. Between you and me, Gray, something's off. Something's fishy.
Yeah. Well, between you and me, we need to find the kid. They were supposed to bring him back to HQ here.
Right.
He
Apparently,
wasn't in the registry.
no, not in the registry. And the military contact that he was supposed to meet says he's not here. And Hargrove, apparently, just says that they're locating the kid.
Right.
But didn't mention anything
Also,
about him being lost.
Yeah. Also, before, and I wanted to let you know before Hargrove could potentially make up any stories about me, we were able to hide the key, the real key for safekeeping.
Good work. Unfortunately, I would have our agents come pick it up and uh, escort it out of here, but allegedly, from the notes, if the key is too far from the kid, some sort of catastrophe happens. It lets out energy. Don't know the full details.
Exactly. I I'm hoping that it is at least a range of the city. That as long as they're both within the city limits, that it'll be fine.
There was one thing that interested me about this whole ordeal from what I was looking into. The story that was they were selling this on. The kid happened to go on study to the Arctic Circle, got a little caught up in a storm, made his way, touched the device. Bada boom, bada bing. He became, well, like us. One problem though, there is no kid registered, or at least no college age kid going to the Arctic Circle, going on an excavation with at least the Aeon Society, and no mention of him ever getting his hands on this device.
I don't think it's just getting your hands on the device at all. I think it's something else. A little bit more. I don't even think it's just a storm, even. Regardless, last I communicated with Bobby, I had asked them to brief Lodestar as well. I've come to the conclusion that the Hope Alliance is potentially not in our best interests, at least not in the world's best interests. Because I mentioned it before, where the military could potentially plan on deploying the key, there could be a lot more dead bodies than live ones, and that would be a catastrophe, regardless of whether or not it's allies.
Um, he looks at you inquisitively, gives you a questioning look. You said Bobby was heading where?
Lodestar, is there something wrong?
What organization is that?
What do you mean? We've been working with them.
Okay, that's what I was afraid of. So I could tell something was off. This morning, I know I was talking to an associate of mine, but I couldn't remember the name of said associate or where they're from or what they even look like. And I know I talked to them about 2 hours ago, but when I try to think back and try to contact them again, there's a big blank. However, when I try to ask people about it, they don't remember me talking to someone at all.
That's odd.
Right. However, the name Lodestar was mentioned. However, every so often, and I've been timing it, at least trying to remind myself, um, every time it's mentioned, it just disappears.
I I remember it clearly though.
So maybe whatever, I don't know, whatever happened with their, or you being in contact with the key or something, I don't know. You might have been able to have your memories intact, but for me and the organization, there is no lodestar.
Huh. I I'm going to check back with you, David.
Right. And he takes out a notepad and he just writes everything he just said down. Gray, if you can do me a favor,
Yeah.
if you can keep, because it seems it's not affecting you, if you can keep remembering small details, things about people, myself, anything else, if you can mention it, write it down, repeat it back to me just in case I forget, or if for some reason something happens to us, if you could remember it, please.
I'll make a record of it.
For the first time, you've seen David in very precarious, dangerous situations, but for the first time ever, it's an expression that you've never seen before. It's the fear of not knowing, the fear of someone messing with your memories, possibly.
I quickly take out my notebook and just write out a very simple note of uh there are memories that are missing,
Hmm.
and and this is something that I am aware of. And then I put a line under that note and just go, if you could just really quickly sign this.
Oh, he does sign it. Um, and puts the pen back in his pocket. Okay. What do you want me to do with this?
I'll hold on to this.
Okay.
And if you don't believe me later on, I'll show you this.
Smart. Very smart. Um, Gray, I leave this up to you.
Right. And random question, but when are we gonna get one of those? The marbles.
Up. We're still testing it. Still in the work. And then he just goes blank. He snaps his finger. Yeah, no, someone with team will be able to get one of these for you. I gotta go and handle a thing real quick. I will see you later, Gray.
Right. As soon as I leave, as soon as like David leaves, I'm going to get out of the headquarters and try to give Bobby a ring, like as soon as possible.
Um, Bobby, we cut back to you. The scene is basically like a playground. The kids are all playing with like different devices. Yeah, you're kind of like the adult, making sure that the kids are okay. They're not harming themselves or anyone else. You do have to break up a possible rumble between like two kids over a mirror that makes them look older, younger, um, different clothes, things like that. But other than that, nothing too other than the devices themselves, nothing too out of the ordinary with the kids.
Okay.
Um, you This is a little bit some time where Gray is inside the office, so you don't get the ring just yet. However, when you were looking through things, you realize you do see um, the partial wreckage of what this spaceship could be. It doesn't look like a flying saucer. It does look like, in your mind, this looks like a mechanical bird. A very large one.
A mechanical bird. Hmm. Interesting.
It looks like something out of a comic, um, and which is fantastical and weird, even with everything you've experienced in the last few years.
Okay.
Um, you kind of look through things. You don't see. what could have been controlling this thing. You do see like the wreckage of all the items and stuff that this thing had, um, but no people, bodies, creatures, things like that. Just all these strange things.
Mhm.
Uh, what is it that you're doing currently? What are you investigating, or what have you? What are you trying to figure out?
Well, right now I'm trying to figure out this damn electrical bird thing. Um, so yeah, like what's going on with it? Is it
Weirdly enough, it has some telluric energy coming off of it. It's cold to the touch when you grab on. Um, you see something like a wing kind of flutter, but stops after 2 seconds of touching it.
is there like if it's a mechanical thing, it's got to have a place to open up, right?
Right.
To work. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna find that and try to open it up.
You know what? Let's make this interesting. Give me an intelligence in technology or survival role difficulty of two with one complication.
I was gonna say larceny because I'm using my lockpick stuff because I'm kind of like
Okay, with a lockpick, yeah. Um, larceny, intellect. One complication still.
okay. What was the difficulty?
Difficulty of two.
Okay, so the enhancement from the lockpick, I get the difficulty, but I am not buying off that complication.
Okay, you are able to open this thing up. It just jerks open, and you kind of stumble backwards as it looks kind of like a cockpit. Um, the inside kind of looks um, like a stork's mouth has opened, and inside is where you would think someone would sit to kind of drive this thing, manage this thing. It looks like something from the war, um, from the inside cockpit. However, as you do this, you hear buzzing.
Here from the thing or from somewhere
It's
else?
coming from above you.
All right, yes, I'm gonna look up at the buzzing sound.
Um, you look at the buzzing sound, and it's kind of hard to describe. Um, you see something. It's humanoid. It looks like it's in a suit, but it has very fast wings buzzing in the background, and it's hovering over top of you, and it has like this long rod like thing, and it's pointing at you. It says a bunch of garbly gook and a bunch of noise and garbled text, and it's pointing at you very angrily, and it slams down beside you.
Yeah, what English? I don't. Um, how long is it speaking this gobbledygook?
It's speaking this for a while, and even
Okay,
pokes you in the chest with the thing, and it kind of does like that prodding thing, like a cattle prod. It just zaps you.
okay. I have babble tongue, so uh, I pick up language.
Oh, um, after a few seconds, you're able to decipher this. Stumpy man. State your business.
And it will, I'm also able to respond with like a native, including aphorism, slang, and regional accents, if any. Um, so I'm going to respond to him as this being's version of a Boston accent. Um, what are you? What do you mean? What are you? Why are you calling me Stumpy Man? What's with this? Hello. How you doing?
Uh,
How's your mom and them? None of that.
the mom in them part is kind of maybe where it's kind of cocks its head, but it kind of just goes. A direct question was asked of you and your kind and being. You're disturbing the swan.
This thing?
Uh, Nods his head. The thing you've broken into.
Yeah. Why'd you leave a swan here for a bunch of kids to find? If it was so important.
Uh, he looks at the children, looks back at you. A non-issue.
If it's a non-issue that these kids are all playing with this stuff, then how is it an issue that I'm playing with a swan?
We've indicated that you, Stompy One, are a threat.
I have a name. It's not Stompy One. Again, a little politeness goes a long way.
Um, he, you don't really see the face. There's like this chromatic sheen that looks down at you. Eye kind of opens up with like a camera shutter, looks at you, and then it shuts back in. Reevaluating. Stocky One,
Guys,
we ask that you participate in not destroying our swan and also assisting us in getting it back up and running. Failure to do so will result in you being eliminated.
I'm gonna lean real close into the eye thing that came out, even if it's still not there. If the eye thing is no longer visible, he's going to tap on where the eye was. Activating. I'm going to spend an inspiration to activate Predator's Visage, um, which basically gives any complication equal to my destructive facet of 3 at any attempt to influence me socially.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um, in which case, failure causes them to failure to buy off company implicates a stunned condition with their destructive facet as its rating. So they would get a stun condition of 3. Um,
You're able to do this. It kind of stumbles back, a little afraid, a little like it just seen some sort of predatory creature just tap on its glass, a hungry wolf to a fishbowl, just tapping on that screen. Uh, Reevaluating. Dangerous. Possible threat. However, assistance still needed.
so if I'm going to do something for you, you're going to have to give me some information. Who are you? What is this stuff? What does this have to do with the weird shit that's going around the city?
Um, you hear something like a mechanical noise. You don't know what that could possibly mean. Not understanding the direct nature of your question, however, will answer to best ability. Currently, on a mission to retrieve an item that was stolen from the Arctic Circle.
Okay. You're from the Arctic Circle.
And it just nods its head up and down.
I'm just gonna look the thing over.
It just looks like one of those creatures, aliens from your comic books. For us, for the modern viewer, maybe it looks more like an astronaut, although it's a way skinnier, tall like Slender Man. Um, it has a flat chromatic mask that just doesn't give any sort of expression except that eye that comes out to scan you every so often that closes back up. Um, the suit is nondescript. It has again wings, and you can feel the beating of those wings very fast. More like a hummingbird and less like something avian. I say avian, but like the best way I could put it, it's like a cross between a hummingbird and a dragonfly. It's very fast. It doesn't have that featheriness to it, but you can tell it's something beating off of you.
Okay. Um, does the equipment and everything feel like the telluric energy that the key gave off?
Yes. Um, and weirdly enough, you see the kids have looked at you two talking, but they haven't made a mention of this very tall space thing having this weird conversation with you.
Well, I am giving off an aura, power or powerful aura of sheer menace, which might be startling the children.
Yeah, just slightly a bit, but um, that's a little. You're kind of a little scary, but the thing is not scary to them. Weirdly enough,
Why can the child see this, see your stuff, and you, but apparently adults can't?
lifts his head up, kind of cocks his head to the side, looks back at you. We've determined that those have undeveloped, and then there's a bunch of noise which you can realize it's something that it can't be translated in whatever language, and it tries to explain even further. Hmm. Can I give a directive? Responding with, they have something that adults, and points to you, lack. Although you, and points to you again, have something that connects to this, and points to the swan. We believe you call it telluric energy.
Okay, you're right there. You got that. You got that. All right. Um, so what do you know about what's going on with the thing from the Arctic that is missing that you're here to get?
We've determined that the key of provenance, your language, was stolen recently as of 5 years ago. We've been trying to track it. However, the problem is, and then a bunch of other noises. Sorry about that. It seems that we were recently shot down before we could actually have a system restored.
I didn't understand what you said at the end there. Um, Something shot down system restored. I don't know how that works with the. Okay, but so you had this thing missing for like 5 years, and you're just getting to it now? Like,
Well,
did something happen?
unfortunately, we weren't able to leave our dominion to find this individual. However, we were able to brave the storm and get here. However, there was a miscommunication.
What miscommunication?
Your military shot us down, and we've successfully were able to land here without any trouble or casualty.
How many of you are there out there?
It does not answer.
This is not how teamwork works. I have to, in order to be able to best effectively help you, I need to know as much information as I can.
Um, with that, Gray, you're able to get in contact with Bobby.
Bobby, it's Gray. We have new problems.
What's your problems? And let's see which ones are more interesting.
People are starting to forget what Lodestar is.
That's how Lodestar wants it, so that's okay.
No, 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 not. You don't understand. It's not specifically just Lodestar. People in our agencies, they're losing bits and pieces of memories, realities, and the kid's gone.
Ixnay on the kids today. It's okay. Anyways, so I got an alien from Antarctica whose ship was shot down by the military who wants our help finding some sort of key of providence thing.
Interesting. Do you have that handled right now, or should I come over?
Talking to him right now. We're working out the details of what do you call it, negotiation. Your kind of negotiation, not mine. I haven't hit him yet.
Oh, good. Then learning experience, I suppose.
But there's kids around. I don't, want to expose them to the violence if I don't have to.
I'm surprised, but pleasantly so. I'll keep working on my side. Um, and
Oh, and the alien can't be seen by adults without telluritic energy.
oh, so nobody that matters then.
Right.
Let me know how it goes.
Oh, if you want, I can. And you watch as the hands on this thing, it now takes out four more sets of arms. All of them come out. They clap together. You hear this loud reverberation that almost sends you backwards. Um, and you see reflections start to form. Gray, as you're walking through the building, you find yourself in this in the weird neighborhood junk almost, and find yourself next to Bobby.
Right.
Told you. Antarctica aliens.
I'm still wearing the violet ribbon, so you can probably tell from that, and I'm just I appreciate it, whatever this was, but I don't think we need to. We're still needing to split up and work on other things. And I'm just kind of looking at Bobby to kind of catch any sort of like language, whether what I should mention and what I shouldn't mention.
Uh, the alien kind of
Mm.
looks at the two of you. It seems you two are having a private conversation that you weren't intending me to listen into. I will say that I only have. It just looks at something on their wrist. You can't really tell what it is that they're looking for. I have 72 hours before a calamity forms.
So tell us about this calamity.
Ah, um, you see it kind of form from some of the junk. A model of the Key of Providence. This, the Key of Providence. once stuck in, kind of in your language, would measure out the weather. It balances things out. However, without it, it causes things to go haywire. It controls the energy of also life and death.
We kind of saw that.
But
You,
if it's been missing for 5 years, how is it just
It's been
like, you know?
reactivated.
okay. I was told that you were. Do you have a way of transporting anything back to to the Arctic Circle?
Unfortunately, my abilities have been contained to the city limit due to the key of Providence, and
What
also,
does that mean?
and kind of also mention emotions to where like they're what you could possibly tell is their ship. Motions to that ship that's been shot down.
Okay, so you're telling me that you can't teleport out of here because the key is here, and then you can't fly out of here because that's your ship.
Precisely.
We just need to get you another ship.
Um,
Or how long will it take for you to rebuild that one or fix it?
looks at the ship. 72 hours, give or take. Uh, and as it's saying this, you see one of the kids running around. It kind of bends down politely, takes the wrench out of one of the kids' hand. Oh, I was using that. And it plucks something from inside the ship, puts it in the kid's hand. What is this? It's a whoopee cushion. A whoopee cushion, and just bolts out of there with this. Hey guys, look! The kid stomps on the whoopee cushion, and you watch as this kid flies up into the air about 20, 30 feet and then falls back down, but is making the fart noise, so he keeps doing it over and over and over again, and he's thoroughly entertained.
Does Lodestar have a jet or a vehicle that we could borrow to get this alien back? Because it's
I
not gonna
mean,
fix it in time.
maybe. Why
Uh,
not?
what do we call you, by the way? What will we address you as? A name of some sort. Title.
Hmm. This is the first time I'm interacting with creatures such as yourself, so this is a little strange for me as well. Let me see. And at first, it gives a bunch of mathematical equations. That won't work. Martin.
Sure. Martin it is. Um, this isn't either of our expertise. We normally have a third that is a little bit more knowledgeable with these things, but they're busy.
Oh,
I
So
have a
Martin,
feeling it's on purpose.
Martin, I got a question for you. So hypothetically, that this key of providence, right? Um, if a being were to somehow be connected to it, and it would say when the being was in its presence and got too close, cause the dead to reanimate, hypothetically. But apparently, this being isn't supposed to be getting too far away from um, the key of providence, again, hypothetically, or supposed calamities would happen. You know
oh.
anything about that?
must be the effect of the key holder sequence. Um, it happens when an individual of a certain ability grabs onto the key, holds onto it, and unlocks something or locks something. Therefore, the connections between their two energies intertwine.
And how would we untangle them?
Unfortunately, there is no way of untangling them. It was never intended for creatures such as yourself to ever get themselves entangled with it.
Okay. But hypothetically, if one did, and you took this band to Antarctica, but that person didn't, what would happen?
Oh, um, uh, best case scenario, um, the city just disappears.
And
How
worst
is that the
case?
best case scenario? That's
Oh,
like
a black hole forms, consuming most of not only the city but also possibly the state and towards the country in slow intervals.
That's why that was the best case.
okay. Uh,
How about this? We will agree to help you with securing what you need securing, but you need to try to get your your vessel fixed faster than 72 hours so that we could avoid calamity altogether.
Hmm. I could put a rush on it. I can't make any promises. I was going to do so. I was also trying to uh, get help for another situation, but I was rudely interrupted by the sound of the alarm going off. This individual was trying to break into my machine and points over to Bobby.
Bobby's still holding the open swan. You haven't even told me what this does yet. You let all the kids play with your stuff and mess around, but I do something um, that's ageist.
We just determined that you were a danger.
I mean, that's fair.
That is fair, yes. The kids can't
So,
punch things through walls.
but okay, all right. So, fine. Here, have it. He's gonna just hand over the open swan. All right. So you need us to get you this key thing.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get it back to Antarctica,
Mm-hmm.
and hypothetically with the person who interacted and unlocked the key, right?
Let me see. Um, and you watch as he throws this swan thing onto the ground. The swan flutters a bit, but then you see this mechanical contraption expand, and the wings expand as well, and it turns large. It looks almost like um, one of your fighter pilots, fighter jets. Just a lot more futuristic, a lot more armored, and a lot more wings.
Biblically accurate Falcon.
Basically, uh, it grabs something from the back. It looks almost like the key of Providence, and then he looks around. Oh, you young man. You see little Bobby points himself. Yes, you. Hi, hi. If I can have that, I'll exchange it for something else. Bobby just goes, but I can do cool things like this, and he whacks the air, and you just watch this poor kid like fly backwards, tumble a bit, slides.
Good job, Bobby.
Excellent work. However, I need it for to attach that with this. Little Bobby kind of looks at you, Bobby.
Yeah, you kind of want to get yeah.
Oh, okay. It, he hands the other key thing over. Um, the individual, the alien, kind of grabs something from out the back of this machine. You can have this, and pulls out what looks to be like a red cape. Kid goes, what I'm gonna do with this? Um, it should work the same way as you do in your comics. I don't know what that means. The kid puts it on, and you watch as little Bobby turns into bigger Bobby, towers over the two of you, looking like a superhero, and starts flying around.
He
This
just
is so
became
cool.
Shazam. He just became Shazam, essentially.
Uh,
It seems to me that you're little Bobby now.
We're not related. It's an age thing. See, I'm still older than him.
I
He's
mean,
still little Bobby.
size-wise, though.
Have you met little Anthony? The guy is 6'4", 410 pounds. Big Anthony's 5'9" and 180. It's
Yeah,
how things work with the families sometimes. It has nothing to do necessarily with size.
sure, sure. I mean, whatever you want to say. Makes yourself feel better.
um, little Bobby kind of flies back down. This is so cool. This is awesome. Thank you. No problem. Okay, um, boss, I'm gonna go fight crime. And then you got Molly. Wait, how come he gets to how come he gets to fight crime? I want to fight crime. And you see two other kids. Oh, I want to be a superhero. Uh, the individual kind of digs through a bunch of things. Hmm. Huh. Pulls out what looks to be like the superhero mask. One for you. One for you. And looks around. Pulls out a green ring and this. What does this thing do? Uh, all of them turn to different forms of the like old school Justice League superheroes, but very generic versions of them. And you watch as they all fly off to go ahead and have their own separate adventure. That should keep them busy before bedtime.
That that has a limit, right?
Anyways, and he just clicks on the two keys together. You see the light blink on. You see the other end uh, also turn on. Use this and just slides the thing over to the two of you.
Then we should be able. Is it like a radar of some sort? Can we find
One part radar,
the
but
keel?
also you should be able to at least seal his abilities so he doesn't cause too much problems while being able to separate him and the key.
Perfect. That's
All
exactly
right.
what we need.
One caution of warning though, if this individual is able to reanimate the living dead, then there are possibly others like myself in the city currently.
What do you mean?
Hmm, how to explain? I'm from what you would describe as a place of power. Um, I'm from technically another alternate dimension within your dimension. Therefore, other interdimensional beings are possibly also on the scene. Some more, how you say, more malignant and more deadlier than myself. I'm from a very pacifist group.
Believe it or not, that actually makes me feel a little bit better. Cause at least, at least Bobby, you get to punch things, and we know that we're giving it off to pacifists in the end. Everybody's
Okay.
happy.
All right. So, just to be clear,
Hmm.
we have a hypothetically missing ticking black hole that can create zombies and may have interdimensional bounty hunters looking for it.
Um, Not bounty hunters, as you would call them. Think of them as hmm, think of them has warlords. You probably met one of them, and you watch as he kind of wipes the front of his mask, disappears, and when he re-wipes it, you see the no face. You've probably seen this individual.
Yeah, I punched him in the face yesterday. What? He's one of you?
Not one of us. He's called the Nomad. He's more one of you, but he's um, he's the best way to describe it. He's conquered a few worlds.
Yeah, I got the feeling.
Also, he seems to be currently associated with a Society 9? I think that's what they're called.
Branch 9?
Ah, that. Branch 9.
I'll just look over at Bobby.
Don't look at me like that. That's on you. So
We're,
yeah. All right.
we need to get new jobs, is what I'm saying. Ugh.
So so first of all, saying I was right to punch him. So thank you on that one. All right. Guess we need to go find this hypothetical little shit that can allegedly destroy the city. Can you, in theory, if this person does exist and we were to find him and we were to bring him back here, can you just take him back with the key and that way we don't have to hurt him and you can have someone to talk to or something. Yeah.
We can try it, but we've tried this before. Um, he ended up helping what you would call Nazis at one point, and he's also made some of them super soldiers.
Oh, he's a
That's where
Nazi.
that
Okay.
came from. Okay. Yeah, I think that's. I think that's
All right.
enough information. Why
Go
don't
find
you,
Junior.
Martin? Yeah. Why don't you continue working on the ship? Double time, if possible.
Uh,
And
more
we'll get you
arms
what
pop
you
up.
need.
Okay, and you watch as this thing starts getting ready to fix stuff. Um, as he's working on stuff, you see Martin turns into um, a grease monkey, a mechanic, regular Bostonian mechanic that you would find anywhere in this setting. Very nondescript as he starts working on the machine.
Random thought. With the amount of arms that you keep saying popping up, he's starting to feel like the Martians from Metal Slug.
Kinda, sort of.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
um, he's just working on this very hard. Sweat on the brow. Looks very human. Um, now that you look at him in this new facade, and just turns back to you, Oi! And before you go, okay, listen. What you want to do is not startle the kid, because if you do, he's gonna reanimate everything within a 50 block radius.
Let's hope we don't find him in a cemetery then.
Good luck to you. All right. Now you kids run off. I got work to do. This this bastard messed up my cockpit. He just kind of slams the thing down. I'm gonna fix this.
Let's get to work.
Um,
All right. Um, Brown man from the fifth floor is kind of handy, Martin. So if you need some help, call him down. He's got.
yeah. I know. I'll call him and I'll call Gary and I'll call all the other the folks of the yeah. I got you.
All right.
Oh, Martin is way too good at this.
All right. So what do we know about the kid?
Right now, nothing. But other than the fact that he's missing. And a lot of the people that we were talking to, at least David from my agency, is losing their memories of certain things that may or may not be important.
Okay.
And also, visually, at least, I would say, I wouldn't be able to move the key of providence publicly. It creates too many distractions, making after images of myself and whatnot.
I mean, we just have Martin. Like when it's time for when Martin's ready. Like, hey, Martin, uh, you have
Marcus
to come
gets
get
you.
it. But yeah, we'll just have him come. We'll be. He,
Yeah.
he's he, he's an alien. Like nobody else really understands his language, so it'll be fine. I'm sure.
Well, I mean, that's one thing settled. We still need to get the kid. And also, No Face is going to be looking for him, too.
All right. So how does this thing that he gave you work?
I don't know. I'll just kind of look at it.
You look at it. You grab hold of it. It looks like it's a two-handed staff with a very big light bulb that kind of shines and blinks. Um, you have to hold it with two hands. You crank it, and then you watch as the lights flash, and you see dust particles kind of trail off and lead you somewhere.
Right, I officially feel silly, but I think that's where we're going to go. Just kind of like doing this and holding on to it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's rock and roll.
Um,
Do you think? Do you think we should tell? Get the group together.
I mean, we don't know where her group sent them off to, so I mean, we can reach out, but like,
I'll leave a message or something. And with that, I'll just say, hey, shit's really hitting the fan in the city. It's great, by the way, and probably gonna need your help. Aliens are involved.
you get at first you think I connected, but you start to hear static, and then you hear a message. I it and it cuts off.
I think we're on our own for now.
all right. So yeah, no, let's game plan here. We just following this thing.
Follow the thing, and as soon as we get visual on the kid, let's not approach him immediately, and try to get this as clean as possible. Don't startle him. You know the deal. My way, less yours.
Okay, we'll try it your way.
And then, if we have any third parties, No Face, our military, any of those things, we'll deal with them your way.
That I can work with. That works. Yeah.
Um, as you guys are walking forward and going past, following this um, dust particle breadcrumbs being left behind, um, you can see a little bit far down the road someone flying that red cape coming down somewhere, um, leaping down. You hear a bunch of like, what was that? Was that a bird or a plane? And then you see someone lifting a guy up in the air. Wait a minute, wait. Hey, listen, okay, wait. If you put me down, I'll go to jail. I'll go to jail, sir, sir, and just disappears off.
Probably deserved it.
I, I'd rather that be temporary. I don't want to have to go fetch kids with superpowers.
I mean, they're still kids. Like, so just gotta, you show them that you're the adult, and it'll be fine. I'm sure.
Right. Can't deal with kids. I'll just continue walking, following the dust particles.
Um, we find ourselves at a mausoleum. It is quiet. You see that there's a funeral procession happening a few feet away from you all. The dust particles leads you to one of the open mausoleums, and it looks like it's going downward.
This is literally the worst place to find the kid.
Probably. The mausoleums, don't they like, because there's limited space in a mausoleum, so they cremate some of them so that they can't come. And you got whole families in there. They take up little shelves, so they can't, fit them all in there. Like, plus,
You say that, but look at the size of this thing.
look at how thick these walls are. It knocks on the. I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
when you knock on it, it crumbles. Some of that rock kind of falls off.
Thick, huh?
look. Was I supposed to know they got a cheap mausoleum? I didn't know you could get like ones that were. I didn't know they had ones that were just like fronts and on it, shiny on the outside, dead on the inside. Pun not intended.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's hope there were more cremation than bodies in here. And
Um,
I will continue walking in.
Nice. And with that, we pan the camera backwards. We pan the camera out, and we get a final shot of you two going down inside of this mausoleum. As the camera picks up a few other individuals at this funeral, instead of them staying at where they were burying the bodies, you watch as they move and stumble and kind of limp their way towards that same mausoleum you guys were headed. Um, and the camera keeps panning away. We hear the static message of help is on the way. And then finally, we turn to our last scene. Um, a man is whistling with an entourage of multiple people. We don't see the actual man himself. We just see the white pants, the shoes. Um, as he's walking up to another smaller individual. Hey kid, that's a nice ring. Yeah, I got it from a awesome dude. Nice. Mind if I borrow it for a second? Why do you want the ring? And he points out and pulls out a red one and holds it out. I got a red one that can do the same thing. Okay. And the kid changes and switches the ring out, puts it on. There's a red glow. Neat. Yeah. Go do some crime, kid. And that is where we end tonight's episode of Trinity Continuum Adventure Rumble, episode 2. Thank you for joining us. We would go longer. However, I don't have my third person here, and I don't want to continue on the adventure without having my whole cast here. So, with that being said, I want to send it back to my amazing cast, starting with uh, Michael. Reintroduce yourself. Tell them where we can find you at, your pertinence, all of that, and who you played.
We need a third person, also known as if it's just the two of us, we're gonna die. Anyways, I am Michael. I played Gray tonight, and I am a composer, musician, voice actor, and writer. You can find me at asterisk VTuber on Twitch as a streaming. And also, I run Thursday Trinity Continuum anima games, Masks in the Mirror, and yeah, I think that's a easy way to put it.
And also Zach.
Hello, I am Zachary Nowder, he, him. I can be found on many social media places and on the interwebs as Zach Rules, as such as my website, zachrules.com. If you want to actually interact with me in social media, I'm really only active on the Deadbird site, and that's kind of hit or miss. Um, but yeah, if you would like to see me doing something like this again in the future, Monday I will be here for the Sign on the Tower game. And if you I don't know, say hi, wave.
And certainly, myself. I hate doing this. I don't like introducing myself or reintroducing myself. Hi, I'm Crow. He, it. If you are looking for me, I am also on the Dead Bird site, mostly on BSlateTV. That is where I do most of my announcements for one. However, yes, I know I've been making a lot of big announcements. That's because I've been working on stuff. So I've been able to actually engage really with the bird site stuff. So that's the conundrum we're working on. You can find me on multiple different games starting on Mondays on Onyx Path. I will also be doing Scion the Tower with Zach. It's awesome. I love doing it. Um, it's been a blast, and I can't wait to experience all the craziness that is happening with that. You can also catch me on Thursdays here again, off and on, playing The World Below with Travis and an amazing cast and crew for that game as well. And also, you should check that game out. It is awesome. It is a blast. On Fridays, you can catch me here again, STing Trinity Continuum Adventure Rumble. Especially episode 3 is going to be a very interesting one. A lot of rumbling with zombies. Different campaign for vampires. This is zombies, and also a little bit of other strange things happening. And last, but certainly not least, you will also see me doing a bunch of different weird stuff for Onyx Path in October. So keep lock with that. Um, without further ado, if this will let me do this, who is on? Let's see. If not, I will have someone else do it.
You looking for someone to raid?
Yeah, I was gonna raid Rolling Nomads.
I
All
was
right.
about to suggest him just now.
Um, if someone can put that in for me, because it's not working for me currently,
Mm.
we are
Hold
going
on.
to raid out with them. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for having us. And until then, love, peace, hair grease, and also wash your hands and go do some crimes, but not those crimes, not the crimes that that guy was doing, but like some also awesomely good, creative, good ones. Okay, thanks. Bye.